Uh, I bought a 10K instant account. I know what you're about to say. You've not passed the 5K, you've not passed the 1K, and you're moving to 10K. Well, I saw an ad. Is it an ad or a promo on Equity Edge? Yeah, that's the name of the firm, Equity Edge, where they say you have to, when you buy, they have 50% off. And when you buy an account, they give you an instant account of the particular size you bought. And when I was going through the account sizes, I just figured that their 10K account is similar price with the Maven 5K account, which I initially wanted to buy. So I'm like, since I'm paying for the same thing, let me just go for the one that is bigger. And when I checked, I checked the rules for the normal two-step challenge because that's what I trade. I feel like most firms, one step and instant are always choked with rules. So I checked for their two-step challenge. I checked the rules and I bought the account because the rules were okay to me. I bought the Swift challenge. Swift, is it Swift? Yeah, Swift two-step challenge. Then I got my then I got my 10K instant now. And I checked the rules. And this is the summary of the rules. Like I wrote it down so I don't forget, and I do a recap of every rule and what it means. Starting with the first rule that was on the list, it was 7 minimum trading days. So you have to have at least 7 minimum trading days. That's profit above 0.5% in a day to be able to get a payout. Then second rule is multiple account provision. This one is linked to like email. That's buying multiple accounts or buying accounts with multiple emails. Probably you're using the same identity to try to verify all of them or buying them on the same device. So the consequences for this is payout rejection. So if you anything you make, you lose it or they suspend your account. Uh, Okay. Also, no scaling plan means if you buy an account, you can't scale. You can't. You either buy a higher account. There's no scaling, so you just have to. The max allocation is for every account is 300,000, 300K. Yeah, funding. So you can't have more than 300K. That's the mass allocation on Equity Edge. Then they have 15% consistency rule, which means your biggest paying day should not be more than 50% of your overall profit. So, for instance, now I'm trying to, let's say you're you're aiming for 5%, which is like $500. One trade should not be more than I think $75 or so. So if it is more than that, you have to make more than $500 to compensate for it. Then we have 3% safety buffer. This is actually annoying because when I got the 10K instant account, in my head I'm like, I can just make 3%, which is $300, and be making just 3%, aim for 3% per month. That's like enough for me at this point before scale up. But you say you have to make 3% buffer, which means you have to make 3%. Then anything you make after that 3% is yours. Let's take for instance now, you make 3%, which is, let's say from 10K you take it to 10,300. You cannot withdraw the 300 on it. You have to make like extra profits of at least $125. So you have to make like 425 for you to be able to withdraw 125. But when you withdraw your 125, your 300 still remains there. So it's like you just have to get the buffer before you make profit, which in my own opinion is bullshit because I mean, why? Anyways, the next one is biggest loss versus biggest win. This just means your biggest loss should not be greater than your biggest win. Let's say on your account, your biggest loss is $50. You should not have, and your biggest win is $45. You won't be able to get a payout. So you'd have to make a profit or a profitable day above a profit above 50 to be able to get a payout. Then we have 2 minutes average duration, meaning your trade should not you should not open or close a trade less than 2 minutes, or your trades should be more than 2 minutes, so that it's not trigger high frequency trading. What else? Inactivity, yes. From the first day you place a trade, you have to place another trade before 30 days. If not, your account will be breached, which I don't think I will be able to stay off the market for 30 days. So that's fine by me. And then minimum profit, okay, I've already said that. Then bi-weekly payouts. This I don't really understand what it means, but they say you have to request profit after every 14 calendar day. So maybe, I don't know, every 14, then maybe every 28th of the month, maybe 14th and 20th of the month. I'm not really sure what it means. Then we have max total loss, 5% trailing. And this is where the problem is, because I went to their Discord to ask about this. They have 3% daily and 5% trailing. So trailing is let's say it's equity based, so it's not balance based. The drawdown is equity based, not balance based. That means how do I put it? Okay, let me say, if you're on a trade and let's say you're going for a 1:2, but market moved 1% up, then reverses to SL. Instead of you taking a 1% loss, you'll be having a 2% loss, because it's trailing, so it's from your highest equity that is being marked. And I went to their Discord to confirm. I said it like on public chats, and I'm like, exactly the way I just explained it, and I explained it, and they said open a ticket. I'm like, that's fishy. You could just say yes or no. It's like a very direct question that requires yes or no. You want to open a ticket? It was like yes. So now the problem is, if you are doing, you can blow your account in one trade without you realizing it. Let's say you're going for like a 1:5. Yeah, 1:5, and market moved 1:4.5 or 4.1, like very close. Those kind of things happen now, very close to profit target, and you don't take this, and stop reverses on you and goes back to your stop loss. That's minus 5% loss, and you breached your account just like that. So it's very, very, very crazy. I don't even know how I'm going to scale through it. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm still thinking of how to go through these rules, like bypass them, not bypass, but like navigate my way into getting a payout with these ridiculous rules. Also, weekend holdings are prohibited. No weekend holdings. You cannot hold over the weekend. If you do, your account is gone. News trading. They said it's allowed, but you cannot open or close either manual or automatically 8 minutes before, 8 minutes after, which means, let's say you're on a trade, you cannot manually close it. Okay, you cannot do it 8 minutes before. That means, let's say you are 5 p.m. news, right? You'd have to close your trade before 4:52 p.m. and you cannot close it until after 5:08. So my AirPods are dead, and I don't know if you'll be able to hear me, because I realize now the speaker on this shit is very, very low, so I'll try to like be louder. So that's that for news trading. Then yeah, on the instant they have 1% max per trade, so you cannot reach more than 1% per trade. And okay, the consequences for you trading news is that any profit you make will be deducted on payouts. Then 1% max per trade. So I think of all the rules, the hardest one, or the hard ones, are 15% consistency rule, and the trading drawdown. I think those are my two problems actually, because any trade I'm taking, I would either just take a loss. That's the market just violates my entry or my stop loss, just goes straight, and I take a 1% loss or like 0.5% loss or whatever. I just take -1. You feel me? Then the market going in my direction and reversing. That's going to put me in a lot of trouble. So I have to go for something that is either win or loss. Like I don't want V1's profit, which is very hard because no me my papa get market, that kind of thing. So ah, so I don't know, and I'm not going to lie. I'm scared, sir. Yeah, thank you, guy. I never see. I never traded 10K before. The initial plan was to trade a 5K account, maybe. Like I was already thinking or planning towards it, and I saw the promo. The promo even came that day, that particular day that I was planning to buy Maven, and I saw it, and I checked their rules, and they're okay. I went to their Discord, and I also told was it Grok or Gemini to help me check for online reviews and of denied payouts. And most of the times is about people not understanding rules. Let's say, for example, now this trailing drawdown on God, even me to say I did not go on because I asked like 3 times, and the first time I asked, the moderator that was there just copied and pasted. They copied and pasted the rules as it is on their website without explaining and dropped it to me. I'm like, okay, I have to understand whether the loss I'm taking will be double if it goes in my direction and comes back. So this is going to be very, very hard. I'm mad. But let's see now. The target on this now is 6% because I have to make a 2% buffer, and me it's 3% I want to make. So I have to make like 6% so I can withdraw 3%. But another good thing is that it's 90% profit split. So I don't know, but that doesn't make up for the trading drawdown or anything. So that's that for equity edge. And I don't think I'll be doing the weekly update on the accounts. And I do like maybe it gets to a particular milestone, either I pass it or I fail it, or maybe I just experience something that I would like to share. But I don't think I'll be doing any of this thing because I don't want pressure on my head. There's already pressure on my head. So I think that's all the rules, all the important rules. The rules for the normal two-step challenge I have are different though. They don't have the 1%, they don't have consistency, they don't have they have scaling plan there, they don't have inactivity rules. So I don't plan on trading that account yet. That's the challenge account that I want. I don't have plans to trade it yet. Let me see how the instant goes, then I'll go to the challenge. And I want to trade the instant first because I mean it's instant now. I'm not going through any step 1, step 2, step 4, just straight. So even though there's consistency rule and every rule that says you are not getting paid, yeah, I'm still going to try to, maneuver. So that's it.